You do.
Let's see,
Hey,
Riches. Hey, what's up?
how's it going?
Good. We were just talking about yesterday. We were talking about how it'd be cool if y'all came down and visited.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm
Oh,
trying to get this kicked over here.
Yes.
Make sure we don't have any we're trying to get this
No.
I think we got
Yes.
make sure we don't have any yeah, there. Hold on.
I think you got reverb on your
Yeah,
end.
hang on. You hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm not coming through. Here, hold on. We haven't done this in a while, so
Uh, try the. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah. Try the icons on the bottom left. The drop down for the. Yeah. Audio. Icons on the bottom left. The drop down.
Yeah, see, there's the problem. Hang on. I think what I got to do. All right, how's that?
Sounds all right.
All right, how's that? Got that delay.
Oh, sounds all right.
All right, how's that? Got that delay.
Oh, sounds all right.
All right, how's
What kind of speaker are you using?
oh, just through the laptop.
And you don't have another device hooked up to the Zoom at the same time?
Don't, but I've got it. It's going through Facebook and through Zoom, so it's
Oh, if you have your Facebook on, just mute it. Because it's delayed.
okay. It's
Delayed.
the volume's down on Facebook, but I'm not hearing me through the speaker at all.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Can you hear me on there?
No.
You can't hear me on there?
Mm-mm.
Oh boy.
Are you on Facebook Live?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so did you go on Facebook Live first?
Zoom first, share it on Facebook.
Zoom first, then you shared on Facebook.
Correct.
Okay. Hang on. Let me see something.
So it's
Test 1, 2, 3.
so it's
Test 1, 2, 3.
so it's
Test
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Jana
I
can
think
hear you. Jana can hear you, Tom. So
me or him.
they can't, I don't think they can exactly.
yeah, but there's a bad reverb.
Yep.
They can't- I don't think
There's
they
an
can-
echo.
Yeah, but there's a bad reverb.
Yep. There's an echo.
It's there. There's a bad reverb.
Oh boy.
It's there. There's a bad reverb.
Oh boy.
Okay. Why don't I send you a link? Okay. Why
Yeah,
don't I send you a link? Okay.
Yeah,
Why don't I send you
let's try this again.
why don't I send you
Let's try this again. Let's try this again.
Echo. I don't know what that is.
Shouldn't be happening. I'll turn the volume down on the. Shouldn't be happening. I'll turn the volume down on the.
well, if you shared it on, if you shared, it's hard to, oh. If you shared it on Facebook, you could just turn Facebook off. It's not gonna change anything. It's still gonna be broadcasting.
It's canceling. So it's
Oh, it's
actually
canceled.
it's actually off. The volume on Facebook is all the way down. And my audio is not coming through on Facebook now. Is that correct?
I can't hear you. Oh, yeah, right here.
Okay, there we go. All right. I think we're all
How's
right.
that? There you go. Yeah, I think we're good.
There we
Something
go.
happened. Figure I'll share it.
But it's caught in. There's something.
What's that?
No. All right, try this.
I think it's working.
Yeah, I think so. Let me go.
Yeah.
You need this? I'm gonna go out in the other room and listen.
Okay. Well, at least a few dimensions. The reason why I wanted my phone on is because I can't see what people are saying. So you guys will have to moderate since there's two of you. Sorry.
Oh, you can have your phone on, just turn the volume off. Pull it up
Yeah,
on your page and
I had it off, but it's my phone has a little gremlin in it, I think.
oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, you're
Anyway,
good.
a lot of our friends are here.
Yeah.
Thanks, friends, for coming through. Sure wish I could see you. We're just happy to be here. Tom's going to give us the heads up that he can hear us out there. We're just Todd's just sharing us out.
Yeah, I'm good.
Look at that. That whole little adventure only took us a few minutes late. So we have actually done this before, but all of a sudden we went, uh-oh, nothing's like it used to be, which I can say that to be sure. Nothing is like it used to be. Yes.
Yep.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't that great? You guys look
Yes.
beautiful. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking us.
Absolutely. So every time I think of you, Todd, I think of that Kiss song, Calling Dr. Love. Do you know that song?
No,
You don't? Oh, you got to look that up. It's really great.
for some reason, I never listened to Kiss. I don't know why. Because I listen to all kinds of music. Calling
Yeah, I
Dr.
don't
Love.
I
Why
don't
is
tend
that?
to listen to them. And so it came over our radio station the other day and I asked Tom, who is that? And he said, well, that's Kiss. And I said, well, that's Todd. And then I had the
What-
ballad of, Todd and Morgan. I was thinking about the ballad of John and Yoko. You guys were trying to get to London or France. So a lot of us watched your love story and we were all pulling for you. We knew that it was all going to work out, that you'd be together again. So how does it feel?
Go ahead.
Gosh, I don't know, like a honeymoon. No one can get hold of us because we're in the pool all day, every day, like little kids. Yeah, pretty spectacular. And I still can't believe that we did it, one, and two, how easy it was. Like the way it just happened, it was incredible.
I think a lot of people are going to remember that moment because I was trying to work out the time you guys had met in Canada in my head, and I'm still on a few timelines, a few time dimensions, and I just happened to pull into my seat when you guys were coming across the lawn like that old commercial. It was just, I think we all shed a few tears. I wasn't worried about you guys. I knew it was all well, maybe Todd for like 5 minutes, but
What?
I'm kidding. No, I didn't worry about you guys a bit. I knew it was going to be okay. I felt like you guys were going to do it.
Yeah, we sure did. I mean, we got to meet at the park every day in Canada, but we didn't actually come together. We where we could spend a night together until
Right.
here in Mexico.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that
Yeah,
must have
it
been
was,
some amazing stuff. It was like 38 months you were apart?
37 months apart and 38 months sharing the same bed.
Oh,
So we spent a month in Canada, a couple like 31 days, 32 days.
okay. Oh, was it that
And I
long?
left only, huh?
It
What's
was
that?
that long, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Had
3 years
either of
plus.
you been to Canada before? Any of
Uh,
you?
well, did I get in Canada? Yeah, I did, but they turned me back. I just stepped in a few feet and then they turned
Oh,
me
that's
back.
right. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it's exceptionally beautiful if you actually get to go.
Oh yeah, we saw. I could see enough of it, but no, you'd never been to Canada, and I hadn't been to Canada, so it just happened.
How does the energy feel there in Mexico?
Um, it's um, it's very different. We're in a small village now. We were for 7 days. We were in the big city, so to speak. But both have a similar quality. It's you see a lot of family. You see a lot of people, couples holding hands, people that are not caught up in the rat race at all. A lot of neighborly kind of vibration, co-op, you know, co-creating, I guess you could say, life. And over here in the small village, it's very small. And by, I guess by Western definition, you would see poverty, but I don't see grumpy people. I don't see angry people. I see people that are, like I was telling her, I had to go for a walk the other day because we do fall into this human every now and then, where we start to, both of us, we talk about it, where you go back into the fear or what are we doing? And I went for a walk and I saw this lady sitting in her doorway in a little house with no windows, no glass windows. And she had a little baby in front of her, two other children on each side of her, and they were just, they were just present. I think that would probably be a good one-word description would be,
I would have said it's very organic.
yeah, organic presence. Those people are present.
Beautiful. I've been feeling that present, but I have to say I felt the old human today. I had to go into what I would call a bureaucracy today. I got yelled at for having my phone go beep. So, and then people said perhaps I felt as though I was entitled to have my phone on when everybody had their phone off. So of course I didn't say anything. I was like, wow, not going to get tangled up in that. Just sit here and keep your mouth shut, which is just a really good idea right now. But so how did you experience the energy coming through for Lionsgate?
What, like a honeymoon?
Like an atomic bomb.
Uh,
It was big. It was
Yeah.
really, really big energy, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what happened that day earlier.
Oh, really?
No, I don't mean that night, but I mean that earlier that day. Well, it's kind of funny because we basically connect every night and put our hands together, which we've said that for years. And then when
Well, on that day, we were taught another new, we've always put our hands together and sort of like a portal opens up between us. But that day we were guided to do something far deeper. So we joined our hands and opened up the portal there, and an infinity ran between. I think we had one hand on our belly buttons, the other hand was holding, and the loop went like between the two of us, and they said to us, it would be helpful to know that clockwise and anti-clockwise are soon to dissolve. like to neutralize, to dissolve. And we've been experiencing that, you know, for quite a few days. And we've not done this before, but they wanted us to do the same with our feet. So we sort of like, it was like playing Twister in bed as we're trying to get our feet to do the same as our hands.
Well, but normally we put
The
two
palms
hands,
together. Yeah.
then she put,
No, that's later on.
no, that was it.
later.
Oh, later that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to do the same with our feet and set another infinity, you know, between the feet between us. And then it really got tricky. We were asked to put our foreheads together. And I went, that's very hard to do when you're laying side by side. You've got two palms together and 2 feet together. And then they said, right, now we want you to put your foreheads together. And gosh, do you remember what happened? I mean, it was a massive activation.
Yeah. What happened?
No, not that bit, but I think after that, then we were guided to connect our belly buttons into the mother womb.
Okay.
Todd, I can't remember. We were told all this stuff in the night, and I can't remember any of it in this moment. None of it. And so we've been doing that every night since, you know, that full activation, getting
Sure.
all the bits all lined up before all the new information, everything comes through. Gosh, I can't remember what they said this. I think it was breaking down of separation.
Separation. Yeah. The separation to the, yeah.
You know, from within, all of us, our own separation, what the ways that we're separated. I think we were told on the night also that there was going to be a massive leap in communication, not just with self or with each other, but like everyone, like the entire network was going to take a leap up into a whole new level of communication, including like a higher frequency of telepathy. What else?
Yeah, like beyond telepathy.
And that we weren't allowed near each other until that day, the 8th of August. We weren't allowed.
Well, we weren't allowed to consummate, as you might think, to the full extent until the Lionsgate.
Yeah.
Until we did the twister moves, and then it just happened. Yeah. And the
And
interest,
we've been together since the 26th of July.
yeah. And then it's interesting because we did a session on the 17th going into the 18th, which is another 888, right? I got the dates wrong. On the 16th going into the 17th.
The 17th.
And in the session, she starts laughing. We got our hands and our feet are coming together, and then we're told to do the forehead thing again. So it's kind of interesting that on both 888s, we had a honeymoon.
Again.
That was a really big day, the 17th. Well, I can't feature how all that stuff's going to get together because Tom, and you know, when you guys the moment that nighttime audio that you had, video that you had, I sat there on the sofa watching that. And when you said, and there's the figure 8, I had already been doing this, right? And so Tom and I sat next to each other. You guys were done. We sat next to each other. We forgot I forget the belly button. I don't remember what all we put together. We did some of that. And then I had told you this, Morgan, but no. So then we're just sitting there doing that. I'm getting the intel coming through and I'm telling Tom what, and he's like, well, I feel pretty good. You know, we're all feeling pretty good. And then kaboom in the kitchen, this big metallic explosion that everybody heard, even the dogs. We all went, what? And there was nothing. I mean, because we went around and looked, there was nothing. It was, I don't know what that was, but I do know that he often needs a super big confirmation that something's happening, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that was super big. We'll try that whole thing. I can't see how those parts are going to go together, but it's the soles of the feet thing.
It's hard. It's really hard. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I do feel that communication thing because of what opened up for me was that brand new thing to stand on. You know, they give me a little thing. It's called the sun disk. And when we're standing on the sun disk, all the information comes through. So Morgan, I don't know if you went through that little video thing I sent you, but what it looks like is honey amber. And you walk out on it, and Spirit told me it's absolutely huge, and it's all connected together on Earth, and it has to do with the crystal grid that changed. And I listened to all those hours with Patricia Cota Robles. Did you hear about that? She did 6 hours of, she's the lady with the harmonic convergence, and she's been helping people, you know, for 38 years. So I listened to all of what she said, and she said the recorder crystals are different. And I thought, okay, that's got to be what it is, you know, that they changed it up to, so when we put our feet out there, then all kinds of stuff happens. It's pretty fascinating.
We weren't allowed to. That's actually the truth. We weren't allowed to because they were teaching us stuff like for the first week, new expansive stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Mary.
No, because what you guys are showing is how much you listen. And that's what we just kind of have to do. We have to listen to our team of us, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think there's something to the golden disc too, because when we were in another place for a week before we came here, and in those sessions we were told there was a golden disc in the pool waiting for us. So we didn't know, we didn't know much about it, but I think it did have something to do with communication and basically the feathering out of separation, the idea of separation. But
that original wound, we've all got it. That original wound of separation was what was going to be broken down this month.
Yeah.
The way they showed me that, because we all get the same thing, right? But it just looks different for different people. The original wound of separation for me was the golden shackle on the foot. And the moment that comes off, then that was our wound of separation. So they gave me the code for that. So I love listening to you guys because oftentimes it's same information, but I just am really excited for you to come back with the classes, Morgan.
Maybe when the honeymoon's period's done. I don't know. We're too busy at the moment for anything.
Well, that's way more fun than sitting with us.
And we're learning. I mean, we're being taught stuff every night. We're taking through constant activations. We're learning new techniques for different things. What else are we doing?
I can just tell you're having a lot of fun with whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
But we're still going through it. We're not going through it in the way that we did before. I would even say before we got here. In Canada, we always, as a couple, we still go through the same thing everybody's going through as individual. But we were kind of, we were guided through our own co-creation as well, to end up coming here, which is really kind of a fluke. But we're kind of told that, yeah, you've got 60 days here and in other words, we were meant to be together, kind of isolated by ourselves. And I think part of the reason that we were told that, I don't know what you think, but was because it's still intense. There's a lot of activations and there's a lot of things happening.
Specifically for this time, right? This time was the time you needed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when Todd tried to get into Canada, he went through hell. Like Canada pulled him up and went to his car and gave him the 3rd degree and everything, and then said no. So he had to drive back. What would you say that was, like a kilometre, maybe a mile between those places?
Yeah, like a kilometre.
So he had to U-turn, come back and go through the USA border. Who did exactly the same thing to him? And it was a really big thing to go through. Then when he tried to, he hopped on a plane to the edge of USA, walked out the front, just with a carry-on bag, hopped in a taxi, said, I'd like you to drive me through to Mexico. And that's exactly what the taxi did. No one even pulled him up, asked him to look for anything or anything.
Yeah.
He just drove straight through in a taxi from one airport to the next airport. It was like, oh my God. And I was at that place over at Versailles, Basias,
Mhm.
and not sure at all whether he'd get through or not, and you know what's going to happen. So I couldn't do any preparation. Like I didn't buy any groceries. You need extra groceries in the fridge when you've got a man staying with you. And like I did nothing, and I think you messaged Hung and I at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, said I'm through.
Yeah.
And it was just so easy the second time. So like it was absolutely meant to be. Who goes through a border crossing and doesn't even get pulled up and asked to see your driver's license?
Yeah.
Somebody that has a whole lot of people seeing you do it.
Mm. I told her it was like, because when I got to that border town, which is Laredo, Texas, it's a little bitty airport. And my phone was dead. And so I didn't really know what I was going to do. I just knew that I was going to get across. So if I got stopped, and I would just go find a place in a hole in the wall and walk through the opposite way of everybody else. But so I went out to the like she said, and I saw this guy, and I said, "Hey, can you take me to the border?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Can you take me to the airport in the other Laredo on the Mexican side?" And he said, "Yeah, I can do that." I said, "Okay." So we got in the car and we started driving, and there was like big, like 4 lanes, all like Europe style, they're all like crazy and merging into one. And it just felt like a different paradigm, even though it was a foreign country and culturally, obviously, I'm a little bit familiar with it because I'm from that region, but it was weird. It was that ascension weird, which is like, wow, this is too cool. And it just seemed like the irony of it. Everyone's scared of Mexico, well, would be more scared of Mexico than say Canada. It should be the other way around. And yeah, I went to this little kiosk because I had about 3 or 4 hours to kill, and got a beer and just sat there and just kind of went, wow. And then I get on the plane, go to Mexico City, have to get on another plane. I just show my ID and I'm here. But it was weird. It was like being in like in a different paradigm. And really I feel like it's most of the time it's right, it's spot on. Still, even in this little village or other things that happen. I'm sure you heard about the taxi incident the first night I was here, losing the wallet. Then the first morning I was here at this place, I locked myself in the bathroom. So there's these funny little humorous experiences that are full of wisdom, showing the same pattern of, hey,
initiations. It's like you still go through the same energy, but they're more maybe funny things or initiations rather than big dramatic chaotic messes.
Yeah.
I got locked in a train once, and my guide later on told me, you gotta mean it. You gotta mean it that you're gonna go do what you think you're gonna do. Oh my gosh. Well, that was a lot. That is a lot, but I'm so thankful you guys are together and learning so much and just going day to day and not making any plans. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, we miss you in your classes, and whenever it comes back, if it does, we'll be there.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So what has the news, what did you have anything beyond the last couple things you said, which was the telepathy or whatever that is going to be? Because it's kind of more than telepathy, isn't it? That's opening up for us. Do you believe that to be? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to come down into the physical as well. That's certainly what we're experiencing. Have you ever seen that show Sense8?
Yes, long time ago. Yeah.
We're coming down to that. I believe we're all moving into that. And Hung and myself and Todd have had experiences where Hung and I went and did something just normal, and Todd's across the ocean having massive experiences of what we're going through. Sorry, what we should have been going through. We're in this huge big crowd. It's Canada Day. We're watching the fireworks, which is not one of my favourite things to do, crowds of people or whatever, and not hungs either. And we're both like, wow, all these people, and we're both really calm. We're both really calm. Unbeknownst to us, Todd's sitting in the car on the other side of the bay, having all that anxiety, which, I mean, is not like him at all. So and we've had a few instances where he's actually having the physical experience and we're going, oh, why are we so calm? Normally we would hate this. And so I really believe it's coming down to the physical sensation as well. We're definitely having that. I mean, we really have from the beginning, but even that's far greater, like really expanded hugely. And I think this is like part of Helios Gamos, but I think that's coming online for everyone, where we'll actually start feeling a lot more in the physical as well, or receive, beautiful intentions or kind intentions or whatever from others. We'll feel it in our body.
So let me just ask you if it's what I'm experiencing. It feels as though our energetic field is huge now. And so what's around us can be felt by our people we are linked in with. That's what I think too. And it's like energy work is so incredibly immediate that you can say, well, that sensation is painful. I'm going to do different, and it's just done and gone. And so that feels really good, when you receive something like a dart or something like a love, from somebody. You can feel that giant wave of, I hope that's what you guys are feeling, because I'm feeling it for you, that all the people watching us, whoever the heck they are, since I can't tell, are sending out to you guys today. But it's very interesting because Spirit told me, here you've got the sun disk, and around you is all that other stuff too, all the other things they used to give me to watch people's energy from. That's all there, but it's diffuse. And so now this disc is where we can do the energy work they want me to do. So I just think it's fabulous. And everybody has something ultra cool that they're doing right now. I've found. And so the question would be, since this ultra cool thing came up, have you felt that letting go of the rubber band? Because for a while, a few weeks, we had hold, almost to boredom. We talked about that. Hold. And then the boing, it's time to go. Did you guys get the time to go yet? Did you figure that out? The time to do the next step? Or maybe it's going to be completely different.
No, I don't think we have yet, but I feel like we're working every night. We're taking in interdimension. We're taught all this stuff, shown all these different things. I feel very strong that we're in preparation for that. Yes. For that coming at some point. When, I don't really know, or if I guessed, I would say end of September. But yeah, we're really in chill mode, in relaxation mode, in enjoying each other mode, in playing, swimming in the pool every day, a little bit of exploration. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't think, like, we didn't come here and say, hey, we're just gonna hunker down and be by ourselves, and we just, I don't know, we just kind of unfolded. But you said something about the experience of the sun disk and the offering of the sun disk, and you were talking about Patricia, in regard to basically, I don't want to say like new codes available, but I think it's similar to that. But she got something that I think is the same thing, and that is that, she can explain it better, but that we're actually creating the new memories, but not like in the old vernacular, but actually utilizing what's available on that golden disc, or maybe what she was anchoring or talking about. And by virtue of doing that, it's getting both embodied and ingrained into the earth and expanding.
So we're finding as we go, because it feels very much like we're on another cycle of the spiral. You're going around, those same energies are presenting again. Our job is to make different choices this time. And each time you make a different choice, you're activating new code. And that new code becomes our new data for our memories. And because we manifest from memories, predominantly thoughts and memories, then as we're consciously changing that, then we're preparing to re-script or rewrite a whole new future.
Right.
And when I say me, I'm talking about all of us. It's nothing special for either us individually or even as a couple. It's like all the information we get is for the collective.
Yeah.
Right. Right. What I remember, which is not much because I was just experiencing her work, Patricia, was the solar, so the new solar chakras and the new solar crown. So that was her experience of the new work that came in, her, if you would, the coding. So I really felt that when she brought that through, and she's just such a wonderful speaker. It's for 38 years she's been helping people, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So yeah, we're all getting our own little thing and trying as much as we can to figure out, you know, what is it that they're trying to say, you know. And yeah, it was a lot. August was a lot. Yeah. And it's still going. It's beautiful.
It's interesting because on one hand you can feel the intensity of it, but on the other hand, you really just almost floating through it. There might be a bit of discomfort, but you're letting it be there rather than fighting it or trying to fix it or anything. You're just letting it be there. It's really flowy and intense at the same time.
Absolutely. Perfect way to say it. And definitely feeling that floaty thing in the head, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I'm concentrating on something, I can lose hours at a time. And when I come back and look, oh gosh, it's been 2 hours, and I'll feel like I was completely gone doing that thing. And then earlier today, I got super dizzy all of a sudden. I was standing in the kitchen, and all of a sudden it was, whoa. And I guess that's the Schumann today, but whatever it is, we're all experiencing. It's been a gift. I mean, August has been a gift, I'll say. Thank you.
The other thing that's been really loud in the last week or so is this time thing. Time is just like freaking us out.
Yeah.
It's either, you know, I try to speak to my mother at least once a week, and I said to her last week, I'll ring you next week. Well, she rang me a couple of days ago. She said, I was getting really worried. I said, you know, we only spoke a week ago. And no, it wasn't. When I looked, it had actually been 11 or 12 days. And neither of us could believe that, you know, 11, 12 days had gone by where both of us were cognizant of, you know, we're going to ring our mothers this week. We went to the supermarket yesterday. And when we came out of the supermarket, we'd been in there for 2.5 hours. I mean, that's just... How did that happen? It doesn't help that you've got to translate everything you're trying to buy or whatever, but like the time, you know, there's other times that we think we're doing something for hours and 20 minutes has passed. It's the time is really, and I feel like it's got something to do with what was shown on the 8th of August with the clockwise and anti-clockwise, you know, balancing out. Todd and I were saying the other day, it feels like two universes. They're going in opposite directions, and they're actually trying to land and find a matching point. They're both spinning in their own direction, and they've got to find a way to work together. Like, you know, magneto-electric or electric-magneto frequencies coming together. I feel like that we're working on, all of us are working on collapsing that time, space,
matter.
Something around that.
That's what they were telling me. My guide, Mr. Tesla, the old time space matter happening. It's as you get on the sun disk, it's going those opposite directions. And once you get there, it feels odd. That feels odd, especially if you can isolate that in your body and mind. It feels odd, but it is doing exactly what you said. So it's just a relief to talk to you guys. Thank you very much. Because you can feel a little isolated right now, because I actually had to be in the presence of actual humans today. Maybe it was a little much, so I'm kind of delirious. Yeah. Oh my gosh, now I'm snorting. Oh my gosh, is there, well, let's see, what else do we want to know about you? So I did love that you guys came on and did that talk the other day. So I guess we'll see you again when you come back for another one when it's time for you. I just want you to know we're sending you a bunch of love, and Tom and I would love to be right there with you having tacos.
Oh yeah.
We said that yesterday. Wouldn't it be fun if Mary and Tom came over and visited for a few days?
I've never been. I think Tom's been, but I haven't. It's a place I'd love to go. Just the culture and the feeling of the land. I'd love to just be on that land and feel everything.
Yeah.
Pyramids and all the old stuff. Well, I just want to thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say to everybody? I don't know if you can see any questions that have come up, but I can't see a thing.
Yeah. Sharmini asked.
Oh, there's a question. How are you both, Sharmini? How are you both finding being in Mexico? How has the adjustment been? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we've covered the Mexico thing. I assume she means adjustment to being together, or
I don't know.
That part looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, yeah, I mean, we're still, I don't know, we talk about this every day, like, how do you explain this stuff now? I mean, it's really becoming difficult to explain things, but I think, going back to that golden disc thing and what you were talking about with Patricia and what Morgan was talking about with the actual data of the new memories and how that's actually, or the code of the new memories becomes our data bank, which also means that the old stuff, which we all know, is dropping away, right? But I just keep seeing, like, since we've been here, because we obviously spend all day together, all night together. We talk a lot off and on, as things come up. But I keep, even for myself, like coming across the border, there was some fear building up to it. And then I just went, fuck it, what's this going to do for me? And I'm just going, like, let it go, whatever. But what I'm noticing, I actually hadn't told her this today because I saw this whole thing about a life experience and about energy and how it's working. And it's personal, so I can't really talk about it. But my point is to them, to you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, that's what I said. That's why I said I hadn't told you yet. I just remembered. But basically, so what I'm getting is like, okay, and you brought this up last night, what's coming into the new space, all this other stuff for all this time we've been working and, removing or neutralizing shadow, whatever you want to call it, is that there is new coding or disk or tech or solar, whatever you want to call it. And it's not going away. And that's where you make the new memories, right? But you have to go there to do it, right? So it's like, I don't know if it's becoming easier to let go or if it's just a natural phenomena that things are being let go, or the distance or the meaning of what we carried forth with our egos and labels and such. But I just feel like for myself, like if we go somewhere, we're in a different country for both of us. There's all kinds of differences, but we just go, right? It just seems like everything kind of flows smoothly, but yet you don't take it for granted. You don't dismiss your fears. We just had a lady knock on the door. She didn't speak any English whatsoever. I speak very little Spanish. And she was asking me for money, basically. Now, this hasn't happened anything like this, and she was very well dressed, and she had a thing. It was about a cancer situation. But I, in that moment, just made a choice, and I went, no. And I just closed the door and walked away. And then it stuck with me, and she was off doing something. And I'm sitting there going, wow, what was that? Because I know, given the energies, that everything's meaningful. So I really had to sit with my human self, sit with my new self, and kind of like just kind of get to that point of, you know, what's done is done, and did you examine it, and is there something you need to look at? It was, so I think for me anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I think us being here is a result of, I guess you would say, respecting our fears and going through with it. And that just seems to be what's working. And I think that might be way bigger than us. It's
Yes.
all of it. Yeah.
We were told a couple of nights ago about the light. There is a light in every shadow. Like, just go into the shadow, stand, look for the light, and then it'll be done. You know, you've consciously chosen the light or the higher ground or the love, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, not to fear
Yeah.
shadow or anything. But we haven't had any issues of any sort at all, have we? I mean, we might have personally felt a bit off, but
Yeah.
like on those intense days, I'll go in the pool and he'll come in the office here, or we'll, you know, it's not even avoiding, it's just it's a natural flow of understanding this together, you know, this sort of movement, this beautiful flow of energy.
Well, that you were talking about too. Like we went into the 888, and she says it all the time. She's like, okay, you know, we just went into this 888 and we had this incredible day full of activations and a new level of honeymoon. And don't be surprised if tomorrow there's a dip, but it hasn't been projection, it hasn't been old stuff. It's just been like
old feelings coming up.
But our and like you said, new choice. So our reactions or responses or behavior hasn't been the same, but we talk about it, and we end up talking about it. And the same thing happened after the second 888. We were both kind of looking at each other, going, "Why?" Almost like, "Why does it feel so weird?" or "What's weird?" or "What's going on?" It wasn't like we were getting overanalyzed. You know, we weren't overanalyzing it. But for me, like having this conversation and thinking about it, we are speaking about it.
Mhm.
And it's not like it just, oh, this is going on, that's going, it's more like, hey, let's have a talk. And we start talking about things, and then things come in, and you know, you just kind of get to a clearer space, maybe.
That's what we did at the bureaucracy today, because after the guy yelled at me, it was very silent in the room with lots of people in there. I just didn't give it any energy. I brought in the violet flame, and I was just reading my book. And then after a while, because it took like a half hour more to get my appointment, after a while, I got up, you know, because my back was bothering me in those chairs, you know. And he and I started talking. We had a great talk. Then he started talking to a whole bunch of people in the room. They were all talking back and forth. And you could really tell that it was so easy to do that, to influence something, you know, with energy and not giving it much at all. Because what if I was a stinker, you know, and I thought, well, they're not going to, nah, I just said, that wasn't for me to do. It was for me to just separate violet flame pretty soon. How about those Eagles? And I'm like, I don't even know the sports team around here, but I'm like, yeah, the Eagles, whoever they are. But we had a lot of weather. I don't know if you guys did. We had tornado warnings here, a lot of rain. We lost a lot of the big limbs off of our maple in the front yard. And then it's very interesting here in Pennsylvania, they outdid themselves in bugs and birds. And so I've noticed after every storm, then all the bugs and the birds come like crazy. So you could really feel the movement of the weather. I don't know if you guys, did you get weather last week or the last few days at all? A lot?
I would say.
Torrential rain would come on significant days, or after we'd finished a certain thing or whatever. It was like, wow, here it is. And you could feel the clearing and the cleansing and
Yes.
But I think the rain's different here than it is in America. You know, it's very humid, so they're like tropical storms
Yes.
that come in, and they are hard and fast. They might last 2 or 3 hours, and your backyard's partially flooded, and then it's all over.
Mm.
Well, that's
Massive lightning storms, and the thunder some nights has been
thunder's pretty wild.
So I guess we had some. Well, apparently that's normal weather for here, though. But
Yeah, there's a and the name of this town is La Cruz, which means the cross. And so she got that in a channel before we even knew that. The next day we found out. And so it's a little bay around other bays, but it's a smaller bay. And it evidently has excessive electrical storms this part of the year, like 6 months of the year, going into like next month. But yeah, I think the weather's definitely followed suit. No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think that what we're all doing is creating that, you know, all of it. We're creating all of it. The sun, solar flares, and the weather, and like it's mirroring what we're all doing. I feel. I've always felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this channeling about, you know, there's no mistakes. We looked for a place. We knew what we'd both love a swimming. Couldn't find anything. And then they told us in one of the sessions, what do you both want? Speak that out loud. And we said we'd both love a pool, you know, a bedroom. So there's at least one for an office and a spare bedroom or whatever. We couldn't find anything. And then so we did that session that night. And the next morning I hopped online and there it was. It's like that. And it was available for quite a long time. We feel like we've landed in paradise. We really do.
Yeah.
All of our living is outside. It's only the bedrooms and this little casita. This is like it's got a bedroom and this little kitchenette and a bathroom there, but everything else is outside. We go into a bedroom to sleep at night, so it's really raw and organic, and
other things we do there too.
Lots of meditating, yeah.
Meditating, right.
Sessions and...
Right, beautiful. All right. Well, thank you both so much. This is all I'd hope for and more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. Okay. You guys have I don't even know what time. Oh, it's about 5:00 p.m. Time for a taco. Okay, well, good night to you both. Love you. Much love.
Love you, Mary. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.